Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the deck profile for the Galaxy, Photon Galaxy to be exact. This is not the rank 5 spam deck, this is the actual Galaxy deck that revolves around getting out rank 8s and rank 5 Xyz monsters, using the monsters that we have, and special summoning out the Galaxy S Photon Dragon, and then making the Xyz monsters with him, because the Xyz monsters that we summon with him actually gain benefits from having a Galaxy S Photon Dragon as Xyz material on him, so he's kind of awesome. Also, it's very anti-Xyz, so since your opponent's going to have a lot of Xyz monsters on board, since Stellar Knights and Burning Abyss are things, this deck is just going to wreck them, because aside from Constellar Pleiades, I don't think Burning Abyss can really do much against the Galaxy S Photon Dragon. Obviously, friggin' Stellar Knights can still deal with it with Deltaros as well as Arc, but regular Photon Dragon is still a fantastic monster, but at least when it comes to Xyz, because if your opponent controls like a Deltaros, you can just go ahead and make this, then just run into your opponent's monster. If you either you destroy by battle, or you go for the better route and actually ditch all of its materials by banishing both of these dudes, the bonus monster loses all of its materials, and then Photon Dragon gains 500 for each when they come back. So he's basically going to be like a super huge monster. Also, you can conduct like extra direct attacks should it be something that you normally can't run over. Say that it is something that's just not really something you want to deal with, like say a Heliopolis or something that has equal or higher attack. You just go for a Photon Dragon and banish them, and then attack with the rest of the things you have. Next we go for the Galaxy Knight. This is our entryway into our rank 8 by special summoning a Photon Dragon that's in our graveyard. He's just kind of there to be... he's there for the Xyz plays only, nothing else. But yeah. Next we run the double Photon Slayers in case there's an Xyz monster on board, which there most likely is gonna be considering the meta we're in right now. Photon Slayer's almost never dead, and it includes even if you have even if you control an Xyz monster, you can special summon this guy. It doesn't necessarily have to be your opponent that controls it. As long as there's an Xyz monster on board, you can special summon out the Photon Slayers, and he's basically there either for rank 5 plays or to get out the Photon Dragon. Next we run the Galaxy Soldier. This card is absolutely dumb. This is basically our Stratos, since it searches out every Galaxy monster, including this. It searches out every Galaxy monster by just ditching another light monster, and he also special summons himself. And whenever he's special summoned, you actually get the search. So you can special summon him through Expedition. You actually get his effect off, which is really cool. Also, he has 2000 attack, and he's a level 5 light, which means that we can make Constellar Pleiades with him. So that's kind of awesome. Next, we run the triple overlay booster. Yet another way to go for Photon Dragon / going for rank 5 plays. It's just there to be awesome. Also, he has an effect while in the graveyard too that you can banish him to increase the attack points of a Xyz monster control by 500 for each material it has. So it's not too shabby, considering you can have like multiples of these in the grave and activate all 3 of their effects at once, and then you just have like a huge monster on board in case you really just need to swing for game. Next we run the double Photon Thrashers. This is just a easy way into just getting the overlay boosters going, and yeah, also you can run other rank 4s in this deck, because Photon Thrasher is an easy way into that, because it's a free summon if you don't have anything, if you don't have a monster on board. It's just an easy summon, and it's a big beat stick on top of it, so it's like the biggest level 4 monster you can summon that doesn't really have like a huge drawback to it. Next we run the One Honest. This is just our way to, it's a light deck. We have Honest. Why shouldn't we run it? Seriously. Next we run the triple Galaxy Wizard. This card is absolutely dumb because you can search out Galaxy Expedition with it, which is kind of cool, as well as you can search out any Galaxy card, period, by tributing him. Also, he can become level 8, so that's a really cool thing. Not necessarily super useful unless you already have like an Expedition on board when you on your hand when you summon this guy. You just normal summon, activate his effect, make him level 8, then go for the Expedition, special summon out a Galaxy Photon Dragon, and you go for your Xyz play. Next we run the triple Mystical Space Typhoon for backrow removal. Then we run triple Galaxy Zero. This is another way to go into rank 8s / rank 5s by just going Galaxy Zero and then just having a lot of fun. Sadly, the monsters you summon don't has its effects negated. Otherwise, this card would be absolutely dumb because it is a premature burial after all. Next we go for the one bottomless trap hole. This is just getting rid of, like, disrupting our opponent's plays. Same thing with breakthrough skill. This disrupts our opponent's plays even more so than bottomless trap hole, because this deck's hands down the best matchup this deck has is against Stellar Knights right now, and breakthrough skill just kind of wrecks them. So we just want to wreck them as hard as possible. Next we run the triple wiretap because Sanctum is a thing and I don't want to run into it. It's like staple to run 3 just because Sanctum is at 3. And next, finally, we run the one Solemn Warning. Now for the extra deck, we run one Neo Galaxy Photon Dragon. This is OTK, right, in one card. Should your opponent like have some Xyz monsters on board, you just activate its effect, and then you just detach everything, and your opponent, this card gains fire attack for each material it's detached, and then you can also attack up to that many times during each battle phase's turn. So if your opponent has like one Deltaros, don't worry, just make this dude. It's kind of difficult to do, but it's possible. And if you do make this guy, just activate its effect, and you get 1,500 extra attack and 3 additional attacks, which is kind of dumb. It screams OTK, considering this guy is already pretty huge with 4,500 attack points. Next we're on the new card here, actually. This is Galaxy Eyes Full Armor Photon Dragon. Just like all the other full armor monsters, you can overlay this over a specific monster, a specific kind of monster, to make it like, to get an additional stuff off it. This is basically monster removal. This is our version of Deltaros. A stronger Deltaros is what it is. Because it normally requires 3 level 8s, which is not super good, but you can just go ahead and make, say, a Tachyon Dragon or something else. Yeah, just a Tachyon Dragon, and then just overlay it into it, which is kind of nice to get a huge beat stick on board that can just pop cards, which is really nice. And also, should you have I don't necessarily know which equip cards you're supposed to equip to it, because its other effect is kind of meh. It's kind of cool that it can regenerate some materials, but I don't know what cards you would give it. Like, the only thing I can think of is Dragon Shield and something else, which is kind of just dumb. But replenishing materials is always a good thing. Next we run the one number 62 Galaxy Prime Photon Dragon. This is just a big beat stick of 4,000. It's easy to make. And if it has Galaxy's Photon Dragon as Xyz material, if it's destroyed by a card effect, you can special summon him back during your second standby phase and double its attack. Sadly, all battle damage your opponent takes during that turn is halved. Next we run one number 107 Galaxy Tachyon Dragon. I don't run number C107 because I don't see a reason why to run rank ups here. Like, C107 is the only decent rank 9 monster can go into with this deck. The rest of them are kind of dumb, just not good at all. Next we run the one Hieratic Sun Dragon Overlord of Heliopolis. Now this card is actually really good. It's like a tiramisu, but not as good, in the sense that its effect does not target, which is really nice. And then you can just go pop a shit ton of cards should you need it. Next we've run the double Divine Dragon Knight Felgrant. This is hands down the best Xyz monster that's rank 8 in the game, because you can make one card unaffected by card effects, and that is just huge in the game. And considering it is sitting on a hefty 2,800 body and make it unaffected by card effects, that's something ridiculous. Next we've run the one Lancelot, Ghost Knight of the Underworld. This is a really good rank 8 monster. It's terrifying because you can attack your opponent directly. It has 2,000 attack, which is not huge, but when it attacks and inflicts battle damage to my opponent, I can target a face of card they control and destroy it. So it's basically, I can work around my opponent's defenses and then pop a card. So that's really cool. That doesn't cost any Xyz materials either. And then it can also negate the activation of a spell trap or monster effect. It doesn't destroy it though, so say that it's a bear, you don't actually destroy the monster, it's negate the activation of the effect, which is really cool. Next we run the one gimmick puppet giant grinder, in case we have some XC spam deck that we really don't want to deal with, and they have two more, and if they have two XC monsters on board, we can make this, pop them both, and then attack. And then just basically, if it's two Delta Roses, we deal, let's see, 2,000. We deal 2,500 for each, so that is 5. I'm not using Delta Roses too much as an example, but say that we have two 2,500 XC monsters on board, two Utopias, for example. If we pop them both, we deal 5,000 points of damage to our opponent through effect damage, and then this thing can still attack with 1,500, which is nothing to laugh at, considering we just did 5,000 damage prior. Next we run the one Gaia Dragon, the Thunder Charger. This is just our way to... it's basically there for Volcasaurus, because Volcasaurus, when its effect is used, you can't attack directly, but when you go for this guy, you can still attack, and you have piercing, so... it's kind of cool. Next we run the one Wind Up Arsenals and Mayo. Popping back row is really nice. Sadly, if we pop two Sanctums, then we're really sad. But the only decks that really run Sanctum, I think, is like Stellar Knights maybe, and of course the Shaddolls run it. But I don't know. They might have switched that from Maron now, but I don't know. Next we run the one TRS Keeper of Genesis. This is a really good really good rank 5. Still not the best rank 5, but it's really good because it can't be destroyed by card effects while it succeeds materials. And at the end of the battle phase, if it attacked, you can target a card your opponent controls, destroy it. So you can basically pop 2 cards with it. You can essentially run over a monster and then pop a card with this guy. So he's kind of cool. He's basically a... Zenmayo in the sense that it pops 2 cards, but it only pops 2 set cards. So this is kind of nice against the Shaddol matchup, kind of, but not really. It's really good against the friggin' what the hell are they called? A dumb deck. The Ghost Trick matchup. This card is really nice because then it can just pop 2 face down cards they control and they just not deal with it. Next we run the one Constellar Pleiades. This is the best rank 5 in the entire game. It stuns your opponent really hard and allows you to bounce back shit. It's really good. And finally we go for the one Volcasaurus. This is a really strong monster considering it can pop monster opponent controls and then inflict damage to opponent equal to its original attack, and then you just make this and it's most likely gonna put your opponent in a really dangerous situation because not only did you pop the monster they controlled, they take damage from that, and on top of it, I still have a monster to attack with that is stronger than the monster I just had, and it has piercing damage. So it's like, wow, that's just too much. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this deck profile, and I'm out.